and welcome to K-Stop Fuse's K-Pop podcast. I'm Jeff Benjamin, and I'm joined with the honey thighs to my chocolate abs, Tina Tzuyu. Hi, Tina.
Best intro yet.
Aw, thanks.
Hey, y'all. This is Tina. Thank you once again for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us. And real quick, we have to kick this off because it was Tina's birthday on Friday.
Aww,
Tina, did you have a good birthday?
I had a great birthday, and I celebrated with the Fuse team.
Yes, we
a little,
did.
like by the office, and had some like brownies and too many desserts and all of that good stuff. And I celebrated throughout the weekend, of course. So now it's like back to the grind, back to work.
Yes, yes, yes. And be sure to wish Tina a late happy birthday at this point.
Thank you.
Because you guys, as you know, if you've been listening to K-Stop, you are as much a part of this show as we are. We love getting your guys' comments. We love, and that's why we always kick the show off with your guys' comments. And don't forget, you can interact with us in so many different ways. You can hit us up on fuse.tv on the episode page. You can leave a comment on iTunes. We love your guys' ratings there. You can always hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag KStop, or hit us up individually. I'm at Jeff__Benjamin.
And I am at hey_Tina with 3 A's.
So we're going to kick off this episode just with a quick exciting update from our end, is that we were looking over this past week at the iTunes podcast sections, and in the music section, we were K-Stop was featured as on the new and noteworthy section, which was really, really exciting. Yeah.
Patting ourselves on the back here.
Yes. Well,
we're really excited about
We're
this.
extremely excited because, we were up there with places like Rolling Stone and other really great outlets. And it's really exciting because this is 100% on you guys who are listening and responding and reacting to, because we're not only new, this is only episode 6.
Yeah.
We got noteworthy as well. So it's all thanks to you guys who are clearly leaving great responses, interacting with this podcast in many ways. So this is 100% on you guys. So thank you so much. And we're really happy and excited to report that.
Only go up from here.
Yes, hopefully we get even more noteworthy as things go by. But yes, now to get to your actual comments. We're going to kick it off first and foremost with Nils Vogels, who left a comment on Fuse.tv, who wrote to us, "Great podcast, like always." Aw, thanks. If you have time, check out the song Cherish by G-Friends Yuju and Up Tensions Sunyul. This person said it has a dream vibe to it, which is the song by Suzy and Baekhyun, but it's so much better in this person's opinion. So first off, thanks for leaving a comment, and thanks for telling us to check out the song. We both checked it out, and like you were saying, yeah, it definitely has that similar. This is yet another K-pop collaborations are just really popular right now, male and female collaborations, I should say in particular, and this one's nice. It doesn't have as much of that jazzy or throwback feel as the Suzy and Baekhyun song.
It's not as mellow. It's definitely more upbeat, a bit more like feel good, happy. I thought it was really cute. Yeah, no, it was a good track. I'm gonna say that I'm not a huge fan of Dream. I thought it was a little overrated. I mean, it was fine. I just didn't. It was kind of a mediocre kind of track to me. I actually like this one a lot better, and
really?
So I agree with this comment that is better than Dream, because Dream didn't really do it for me in the first place. So.
Yeah, this new song, Cherish, definitely has more of a spring vibe to it, and it's definitely hitting the spot more than Dream definitely had that a little colder vibe to it. It was released in January, so it makes sense. Right. But
if y'all haven't checked out Cherish, definitely take a listen. It will put you in a good mood.
Yeah, thanks for the suggestion. We're always looking for new things too. There's only so much time we have in every podcast to cover so much music, but we're always down to check out a suggestion that you guys might have. So thank you so much to Nils. Another comment we wanted to respond to was Lupe Marie M, who is at LumarieSS on Twitter, and basically, so here's what they wrote to us. They wanted to talk about a rumor going around about a media outlet revealing a gay couple in a group. And this person said that it made me so mad that the so-called journalists think it's okay to shove their noses into people's private lives and exposing them like that without their consent. So I want to very quickly just kind of respond to this because, one, it is just a rumor. We don't know if it's going to be actually true or not. But something that I actually responded to, I saw this same report that Lupe Marie mentioned over the weekend too. And, the first thing that I responded was that not even Perez Hilton, outs celebrities anymore. Mm. The internet kind of knows that, for a while it was kind of the wild, wild west of the internet, but people know nowadays that it's such a personal thing. It's such a private matter. Who knows? One, who knows if it's true? Two, who knows that if these singers have even came out to their family and friends? That is such a personal thing, especially in a country where, honestly, gay rights don't even really exist. Right. It's kind of shocking on one hand, it might spur a conversation that's necessary to have. But on the other hand, you got to think about the individuals involved. And it's so, that was very...
Right. No, I completely agree with you. However, I will say that we've grown up in a society where sensitivity toward these issues has gradually built up so that, gossip blogs and, TMZ and things like that, they're a bit more sensitive and respectful of individuals' private lives now. But I feel like in Korea, because, like you said, gay rights are almost non-existent, or if they are, it's they have a long ways to go. They haven't developed that sense of respectfulness and sensitivity, so that's not how their whole society and how their minds work.
That's a great point.
The paparazzi, they're not in a society where people call you out for not being sensitive.
Yeah. No, that is an amazing point. I didn't even think of it like that. Really good point. Yeah, I mean, how could, I could only hope that this would sort of, because in my opinion, if this does happen, again, it's all rumors, if it does happen, it's going to be there's going to be some type of lawsuit involved. Something messy is going to happen. Something, in my opinion, tragic is going to happen. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be drawn out. It's going to be some legal drama. Right. And that's the thing is that
it could have been. It's just all of that could have been avoided.
Yeah, but with something so private and not even. It's not controversial to be gay. Have a sexuality is not controversial. Right. But on the other hand, it's going to become this thing, and in my opinion, it's probably going to set back a lot of necessary conversations that need to happen.
Right, and it becomes this whole just controversy of a mishmash of things. Yes. When at the end of the day, it's just a matter of this artist or individual is just trying to
be themselves.
Right, be themselves, and deal with all of that personally, and not. Yes. I'm sure. Being outed by a paparazzi is already, horrific enough, and then to have all of this legal drama or eventual legal drama, if it comes to that point, to have that put on top of it, and it's just a whole big mess.
Right, I know exactly, and a lot of these K-pop singers are at these ages where they are finding themselves, they're finding their identities, and to have that sort of muddled or perhaps be invaded by paparazzi of all things, it's just. Right. Tragic.
Right, exactly.
So I can only hope, I don't know what the best, again, only rumors. I mean, what do you think? What if if this is true, if this is planning to happen, what if these idols just came out on their own terms? What do you think would happen if that happened?
I feel like that would be something that would heavily, heavily involve their label.
Sure, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to whether this affects fans' perceptions of you. And it's really not any different than, do you tell fans that you're dating an idol from another group? Because that's going to affect how people react to the group in general, and it reflects on the group, as unfortunate as that is.
Yeah. No. Right. Yeah. And for those who don't exactly know, literally dating they're called dating scandals, in K-pop.
Right,
it is a scandal to be dating someone, which is something very different for a lot of Western or American listeners, who sometimes dating is probably helpful for their careers.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's certainly interesting. I can only hope that this is, it's handled in an appropriate, respectful way for all parties involved.
Yes,
and
agreed.
Yeah. So, but thank you, Lupe Marie, for kind of bringing that. That's a good thing to bring to our attention. Last but not least, wanted to give a shout out to Michelle Flores, who left a comment on Twitter, who said, who responded to last week's episode where we had Infinite exclusively revealing the songs they want to share with fans, and she mentioned Elle chose her favorite song by Infinite. He chose Back, which is one of Infinite's great, in my opinion, very great singles from 2014. And we're really happy that you were excited to see that. So
and thank you for listening.
And thank you for listening. Yeah, so many great comments from the Infinite fans, from their fan base known as In Spirit. We saw all you guys. We saw the reaction. Thank you for making it one of our most successful episodes to date. So we appreciate it. And then last but not least, we just kind of wanted to give you guys a quick heads up, is that, of course, South by Southwest is underway right now, one of America's now biggest industry festivals. And there's, of course, K-Pop Night Out, which has been around for, I believe this is its 4th year now in America. It's a K-pop showcase. And Fuse is on the scene down there right now. We got a reporter. And we have one of our very own, Maria Sherman. And we might have some content for you guys coming to Fuse very soon. And in fact, maybe we'll even get Maria on the show to talk a little about what she saw down there. So,
and I know Maria loved KCON, and
Yes.
she's loving the K-pop artists, so I know she'll have a lot of thoughts on.
And Maria was actually at South by Southwest last year as well, and she spoke to Epic High while they were there. And apparently had this really fun chat, and they were ridiculous guys.
Everyone loves Maria, so I'm sure I'm sure anything she gets down in Austin will be quality.
Yes, so look out for that coming to Fuse TV very soon. So now it's time to get into this week's music. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We have a good mix of material today.
I think
different
almost
genres.
Yes, every episode basically has either been female or male.
Right. We were talking about that last week. We're like, why is it that it's always either all females or all males? And today
Korea?
we have a good
we have a great mix.
A diverse mix.
A very mix of genders. Yes. Genders and genres maybe. Cool. So the first one we want to get into, and this kind of got some excitement around the world, was Girls' Generation member Yoona, who made her very first solo release, or first very proper solo song, with a new track that featured 10 centimeter.
Yeah, and the song's name is Doksogun Stonewall Walkway, which refers to a very well-known historical pathway that is it surrounds a cluster of palaces in Seoul, and it's known for both being really romantic, an ideal date spot for a nice stroll, but it's also at the same time very cultural, and you can see a lot of things, and there's a lot of shopping malls and places to eat, cafes, so it's a really, really great spot to just hang out.
Yeah, cool idea for a song.
Yeah, I love the concept of the song. So what did you think of the actual track?
So let's put this out first and foremost. Girls' Generation, one of the most successful girl groups out of Korea for sure, and one of the things that's been so successful about them is how each member has a very specific role and personality. And let's be honest, Yoona was never the vocalist or a singer. She was known as the visual, and most of the time the visual quote unquote in K-pop is known as sort of that, more or less it's the most pretty or the most handsome member.
She's very likable. She's not polarizing.
She's usually in the center of photo shoots, things like that. She's done great modeling. And I gotta say that I was surprised by how lovely she kind of ran a song.
Right. She has a very kind of sweet voice, not necessarily with a great wide range, but I think people are aware that the focus in terms of range has always been on Taeyong for the most part, the leader, and so I think Yoona really pulled it off. I think her voice flowed well with 10 centimeters. you know, the whole concept was really cute and such a sweet concept, like romantic date. That really fits Yoona's whole aesthetic and look. You know,
it worked well for her.
Yeah, like on a lot of variety shows, a lot of, you know, male celebrities have picked Yoona as their kind of ideal female counterpart or what have you. So I think this, as overall as a package concept, really worked out for Yoona.
Definitely. And I think, you know, even like I remember just listening to it, you know, I randomly downloaded it and then, you know, put it on my phone. And I was just kind of walking. I was actually walking around a park like at night.
Perfect.
And I was like, this is kind of nice. And, you know, I definitely like have the melody like in my head right now. It's very boppable, very easy listening, you know, kind of works in the same way as the Cherish song we were talking about earlier. Just very, you know, easy listening, breezy, fun.
It's very consistent all the way through.
Yes.
There's no surprises, which, you know, I guess can be good too if you just want something relaxing to listen to.
And 10 Centimeter, which is like, you know, they're a duo band who, you know, male duo band. And, you know, it's a very nice pairing. I wouldn't have expected it, to be honest, but I love them. And
it's great that they're getting more shine too.
Yeah. Very, you know, with one of Korea's biggest celebrities just in general. And, you know, this is the latest release on SM Entertainment, which is Yoona's label and Girls' Generation's label, who are putting out a song a week. And they've launched this new music service
for 52 straight weeks.
52 straight weeks.
Very ambitious.
And I think we talked about this in a past episode, but we were wondering what we were going to see from this thing. And, you know, who would have thought that, you know, we would have gotten a Yoona solo song so early. So I'm all for the surprises in that way too. So I'm kind of curious what's next. So yeah, Yoona, congratulations on your solo return. Good job. Next, we're going to throw it into, we got another band member's new release. This is VIXX's Ravi. Ravi is the rapper. Tina's already like glowing over here. You know, we mentioned KCON earlier, and VIXX played at KCON New York, and Tina found her new crush while she was there.
Like, oh my gosh. I'm going to try to like keep it together and not be a total fangirl and just be professional. But I love him so much. I think he's so talented, and he really just like has that it factor on stage.
Yeah, and this is his mixtape. It's called Rebirth, but it's R period and then E-birth is the end of it. And then this is what I think is actually really interesting about this is that this project has been kind of teased for a while. Like at the top of the year, we got a track, and then like things have been sort of like rolling out progressively. But now this past week, we got the full mixtape. What are your favorite songs on it?
I will say that I love the first track that he rolled out called Where Should I Go, featuring Microdot, who was I believe a contestant on what's that show called? Show Me the Money season 4, I think. And I noticed that he featured a couple artists from Show Me the Money, and he basically like he could have gotten like, you know, Doki or the quiet, more established rappers, but he chose to collaborate with people who are on the come up, give them, you know, an opportunity for, you know, mainstream VIXX art, fans to, you know, check out and explore. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah, it's a good look for him.
Yeah, I love Where Should I Go. It's got that simple, really, really simple beat. But for any Drake fans out there, if you check out this song, you will definitely be able to hear Drake flourish on a beat like this. It's real simple, but it's like fire. It's like really hard hitting at the same time.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Tina would literally pass out with the Drake.
I don't even know what
Ravi collaboration.
But I like that track. I love the slower ones too. That's more like R&B chill. He has a track that features Soul Man, as well as a different one that features, I'm not sure how to actually say this. I think it's SB, capital, it's all in caps, ESBEE, but he's really, 5. He's really under the radar, so there's not a whole lot of info on him.
We, of course, did our research and couldn't find it.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't want to, like, not pronounce it correctly, but we believe it's SB. Yeah. That's a great track.
I love that one. I love Ox, which also kind of had a more chilled out vibe, maybe like a, you know, more R&B leaning. That's
it
Ox
has,
with
like,
Basics.
That track kind of made me think of like One Time's debut single, One Time for Your Mind, that kind of had that 90s throwback sound
90s,
to it.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, no, that track really stood out to me too. And of course, that was the song featuring Basic, who was also featured on season 4 of Show Me the Money.
Yes. I also liked this might be corny of me, but the Lean On song, like with that had like it had a bit of a dance vibe to it. I
actually did not like mention that track to Jeff when we first talked about the mixtape, because I figured he would just find that himself.
She knows me. Oh my God, you know my music
like,
taste so well.
Dance pop guy, and I was like, that's like the poppier song on there. I'm sure he'll like that.
It's got a nice sample to it. There's like some nice female touches on it.
Yeah, that one's definitely very, as we like to say, boppable.
Yes,
which we got that word from a fellow Fuse coworker.
So boppable.
Mark Sundstrom.
Shout out to Mark, who listens every week.
Yeah. And I love that he included an interlude, which is very American mixtape, like, style. And interludes aren't really a thing in Korea, I
can't remember any K-pop album I've ever that has an interlude.
Right, unless it's like Epic High. I think Epic High has interludes, but that makes sense,
Yeah, they like skits. You know what I'm talking about? Those skits.
Real quick, like about a minute or so.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of an interlude.
Yeah, I love it. I thought overall it was a really, really well done mixtape.
Yeah, and what's cool is that, it didn't get, or at least not yet. I don't know. He's kind of put out, actually just, within probably the last 24 hours, I think he put out like some type of music video teaser. But he's kind of not, I like that he's clearly trying to establish himself, and this kind of goes with getting like the underground rappers and the more up and coming names, is that he's really trying to say, okay, this is something for hip hop fans. This is something for the rap scene. It's not necessarily even for the K-pop scene. Yeah, it's released via VIXX and via that company or whatever, but he's not going flashy, corny that music backgrounds and big colors and all these things. He's kind of just putting it out there.
He's keeping it extra 100, as I like to say.
Yes.
He's it's also very, very important to point out that he produced all of these tracks, and I think he wrote the lyrics to most of them, if not all of them.
See, I didn't know that part.
So he is so talented, and I love that he's finally able to do a fully solo project, and hopefully, with the VIXX fan base backing him, that more of the fans will check out his hip hop material.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool look for him, and I'm excited to kind of see what happens. He's clearly trying to show a different side of himself, so I'm really excited that he's doing that, and clearly trying to show himself as an actual artist, or rather than someone who might sing, and he's always been actually pretty involved in VIXX's music, if I remember correctly.
He does a lot of the production.
Yeah, like I think he writes his own raps and things like that. So it's cool that we're just seeing more. I love that we're seeing in more and more K-pop that we're seeing more artists like showcase what's important to them.
I'm hoping that he really establishes himself kind of like a Zico-esque, member who he can do group promotions, and then he also has a strong solo following.
Yeah, no, I could so see that actually. So, yeah, you guys should definitely check this one out. It's what's nice is that it's easily listenable. Or he actually uploaded it to YouTube, and you can just click the different tracks. It's
also
very easy.
SoundCloud. He's made it readily available.
He has made it readily available. So, and of course, like it is every episode, you can listen to all the music that we're talking about, all the different things we're touching on a YouTube playlist that we're embedding at the bottom of every K-Stop podcast post on Fuse.tv. So definitely listen to that one. And then last but not least, we keep going back and forth on how to pronounce it, but we believe we are nearly positive we are getting it right when we say FIESTAR.
FIESTAR, yes.
Yes,
I believe so.
And FIESTAR is a rather they're not totally new, but they're a new-ish girl group on the scene, and they released their new EP. It's called A Delicate Sense, and the single is called Mirror. I thought this group was particularly interesting because a lot of the members themselves are getting interest for their kind of. So a big thing in Korea is these television shows that you can go on. They're called variety shows, as they call them. And member Yezi broke out on the female version of the rap show we were talking about earlier. That one's called Unpretty Rap Star. She got a lot of attention for how well she did there. She released some solo stuff from it, really great stuff. Definitely encourage you guys to check that out. And then another member called Kaolu featured on this show, and I always found this show fascinating, but We Got Married.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where they pair two celebrities up to basically be like a fake...
It's an OG variety show.
Yeah, they basically pair them up to be married, and they do all these things as a quote-unquote married couple, and she's getting a lot of attention off that. And so now it was sort of expected that, Mir might be their breakout single. So, Tina, what'd you think of Mir?
I really, really like this track. I have mixed thoughts on the music video, but the track itself, I thought it was very... dramatic and kind of sexy, very mature, but still slightly dark because they are singing about a breakup, and it's very lots of sorrow and sad sentiments in there. But it's kind of it's consistent with their previous single, You're Pitiful, which was also kind of mature and like synth pop-ish.
Right.
It's a lot better than Vista, which I believe is their most successful single to date. Was that the debut single, Vista? I think it was like in 2012, but that was a bit sillier.
Yeah.
It's more fun and poppy.
Right.
But they've always had more of like a mature look.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me or...
No. Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. I was definitely rooting for them. Like I was kind of like, it felt like this was their moment, their like kind of moment to break out. But I don't know if this was the song to break out. I actually remembered, if you remember this song, Black Swan by Rainbow, it kind of reminded me of that same dark, synthy sound.
Which doesn't always do well on charts, I would say. So
Right. It's I do like the track itself. That's not to disregard the actual track. I do really like it. The EP is pretty strong, actually. I listened. This was the first FIESTAR release I ever fully listened to. There's this really cool song called Mr. Black that's very woozy and lots of cool synths going on there.
Cool.
And then they have this song called Come and Go that has a brassy, jazzy sound.
Okay.
I'm rooting for them, but I just don't think this was going to be the one to break them.
Okay, that's fair. Either way, we really appreciate the release. I will say the music video. Okay, here's my thing with FIESTAR though. I feel like choreography-wise, that is not their strong suit. Like looking back on other music videos, it's a little hard to watch, and I just wish they would just kind of focus less on the choreo, which can be a bit of a, I don't know.
Well, it's a make
it's
or
not
break
like a
thing
mess or anything. It's just you can tell that they're kind of struggling.
Well, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, why
it was
are
a
there
little
so many
awkward
shots?
to watch sometimes.
Yeah, and maybe they were rushed in practices, or maybe, but in that case, maybe not so many. In my opinion, I 100% agree with the awkward kind of group shots where they're maybe not totally in sync. Give us some more of those gorgeous profile pictures.
Exactly. I love the haunted kind of look they had.
Yes, they looked amazing.
And the underwater cloudy shots I thought was a little weird. Maybe that's just me. I like the shots where they were in their kind of dark leather jackets and the all wood kind of mahogany look, and I thought that was really dope.
Lots of grays and brown muted tones.
Yeah. So the music video, I felt like half the time I was like, and the other half I was like, stop it, So
I know, I do agree with you.
But I love the overall song, and I need to listen to the EP itself more.
Yeah.
But if the rest of the EP is like this, I will probably personally like it.
Yeah. No, definitely. We're it was so close, but we're a fan of the music.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it will do better than we expected. So
yeah. So
we'll have to see.
We'll be watching, So check out all those songs in our YouTube playlist at the bottom of Fuse.tv, and be sure to let us know what you guys think of those too. We love hearing your reviews as well. So now it's time to get into some charts. Let's see what we got going. Let's see if any of the people we're talking about did well. On the we're going to check out the US iTunes K-pop page, the top 5 songs doing in K-pop right now. And Would you look at literally? This was a change from just minutes ago. I swear, I checked it minutes ago. But at number 5 is 4 Minutes Hate, which has been on every episode. Literally, they were number 6 just moments ago.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried that it had slipped off.
I was too.
Out of the top 5.
I thought for the first time we were.
Yeah, we love 4 Minute. We love this single.
Yes, so and lots of you guys have actually been talking to us about how you wanted to see 4 Minute do better in Korea, and but lots of you guys were also wondering if they could do better internationally. So this song is getting a lot of interest in America, so it's still here.
That's great to see. Yay,
go 4 Minute.
Good job, 4 Minute.
Number 5, Hate. Number 4 is Every Time by Chen and Punch, which is a collaboration for Descendants of the Sun, which is
taking over Korean programming.
It is so Descendants of the Sun is this really, really popular Korean TV show, as they call them, Korean dramas right now. It's got huge ratings right now.
Right. It has OG veterans like Song Hye-kyo, who is obviously from Full House stardom a decade ago.
Full House, the Korean show.
I apologize. Korean, the one with Rain from 2005 or 6 or something like that.
Not the one with Mary-Kate and Ashley.
And she... Also a gem. But the girl looks exactly the same and pristine and beautiful as always. And Song Joong-ki is the male lead, and he is, of course, from Sung Kyung-kwan Scandal and a couple of other really popular Korean dramas. Yeah. So we understand why this is doing so well with
and
fans.
For those who don't know, a lot of these Korean drama shows, they have a song or a single that and usually it's a ballad, some type of sweeping, gorgeous ballad that is played on the television show in that episode, and then it's released to the public right after that. So the fact that this show is so popular, not only in Korea, but actually it's gotten so popular in Asia and with American fans, but China actually put out I don't know this story is quite bizarre, but they basically I think it was the government or something put out this sort of warning that this show
an advisory.
Yeah, don't watch this show because it's clearly of course China has to protect its own interests and wants to promote its own television shows, but they were saying how Korean dramas make people go crazy and couples have gotten divorced because they don't have a love like the people in the dramas, or they told this story about this
having too much an effect on overall society.
Right. I mean, they mention all these specific, really fascinating things, and I'm not sure how true it is, but they mention
right. We
how
don't know
a man,
if anything was fabricated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them, and I say that as a Chinese person.
They mentioned a man who got plastic surgery to get back his wife who left him, who got plastic surgery to look like one of the characters from the show, and when it didn't work, they were look, this is, don't do these things.
Oh my gosh, you're listing the most extreme cases.
Right.
Get real.
It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
But so you'll see
so
on
this
the
is
charts.
just the spread of this very popular drama, again, Descendants of the Sun.
And you can watch these they're definitely available in America, probably on places like Drama Fever or Viki or something like that. So
definitely check
Hulu, check them out if you're so interested. I have a feeling it won't be the last we hear of Descendants of the Sun.
At all.
So number 3, back to the charts, is this one's resurged recently. BTS's Dope, which has been...
We said it'll never go away.
And it's,
so.
One of the probably the most accessible K-pop songs of the last year, I would say.
I listen to that song probably every day. So.
Yeah, BTS. We love BTS. Still doing great. And here they are climbing back up the charts with a quite old song, or
relatively older,
almost a year older at this point. So great for them. Number 2 is Always by Yoon Mi-rae, which is another song released from Descendants of the Sun. Another ballad. This was on the chart last week. I believe it was maybe in the 4 range.
Yeah.
And then number 1 is also a Descendants of the Sun song. You Are My Everything by Gummy. Another...
a YG...
Yes,
OG,
you're true. Yeah. Like, very respected
Yes, my
vocalist,
girl.
female vocalist Gummy with her You Are My Everything. And so, if you guys ever doubted sort of like the impact that, the Korean culture is not only having, other than music, you can see this television show is also affecting like its iTunes sales. Like 3 out of the top 5 songs were all from this television
Right.
show. So people are clearly, I would argue that a lot of these songs aren't very trendy in terms of what Americans listening to.
Right.
But if you are associating and loving this drama and you're associating what you're watching with what you're listening to,
Right.
look at these songs. So
Right, yeah.
it's really interesting to see. So we're happy to see that doing so well.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, check out all those songs. Just all those songs on Fuse.tv. If you're listening on iTunes, be sure to check out Fuse.tv because we have all the episodes listed right there for you with lots of media and other things for you guys to interact with.
And the URL for that is fuse.tv/KStop.
Yep.
No hyphen.
Very easy for you
Yeah.
guys. Just Fuse.tv/KStop. Awesome. So now we're going to get into our deep cut section of the week where we talk about a topic or a controversy or something that's trending within the K-pop community.
Yeah.
And Tina, do you want to introduce this one?
Sure. So, not sure if there are a lot of Twice fans out there, but Twice is a JYP girl group.
The newest.
The newest one.
newest
Oh,
group.
yes. My mistake. We have Wonder Girls and Miss A. They have a
Classic
very,
groups.
very extensive roster of artists.
So this is sort of the new coming,
Yes.
per se.
And so the Magne, the youngest member of the group, who is
one of the
from
youngest.
Taiwan,
Yeah.
her name is Tzuyu. Yes, it's spelled Tzuyu. I guess the stylized writing for it, but I believe it's pronounced Chewy. And so she was recently on a music show doing a special stage, I think paying homage to Girls' Generation's G, and it was a joint stage between Twice and
G-Friend.
Yes,
members
G-Friend.
from both. So they came together. G-Friend has 6 members. Twice has 9 members. So they took a couple and they made a new age Girls' Generation with 9 of
and
them.
they wore the skinny jeans, all of that, did the whole shebang, and so she was wearing a shirt that in English said, "Hose, take off your clothes," and
Which I yell at Tina all the time. I'm always like yelling at Fuse.
That's my life motto, y'all. So the shirt, it's like, I think, "Hose, take off your." Those words are in like one size,
Yes.
across one line.
They're a bit smaller.
They're smaller,
yeah.
and then the word "clothes" is huge underneath. So you wouldn't
Yes.
even notice right away, unless obviously like K-pop fans notice everything. So
Yes.
So I guess like that is what the controversy is. People were asking, who's your stylist? Why would they let you go on stage wearing something that's telling people take off your clothes?
Hose, take
that
off
you're
your
you're
clothes.
being a bad role model. You're only 16, whatever.
Right.
Whereas other people are saying, you let her live. It wasn't even like an official promotion for her own group.
Right.
Why can't she wear that? So I guess it's just
It caused a controversy,
Yes.
which is a little ridiculous, but I don't want to say it's ridiculous actually, but people
we're leaning
feel
more toward ridiculous, but we can understand where
Yes.
the other side is coming from.
I understand where they're coming from, and this is not the first time Jui's gotten in a little bit of trouble. So if you sort of remember, there was this controversy, or actually it was quite a big controversy
Oh, yeah.
in Asia, at least, that Chewie was on a reality show and she was saying where she was holding 2 flags. She was holding a South Korea flag and a Taiwanese flag.
Yes.
And
because again, that is where she is from.
her nationality was listed as Taiwanese on the official website. Girl is saying I'm from Taiwan. She was holding her flags, and people from China got really upset that she, because of course there's, if you don't know the historical background, please read up on it.
Right, there's a lot of tension between Taiwan and the mainland. So whenever there's a Taiwanese artist promoting in mainland, they just have to be very careful
Yes.
about how they present themselves and how they talk about, their nationality. So
And she was talking about this in Korea, which is even
yeah,
more
it was
interesting.
it was on a Korean show.
Yeah, that it got sort of it turned into this whole big thing. Sort of controversial because then she put out this in my opinion, very sad statements where she, in very dark clothes, looking very scared, in my opinion, gave this statement, still not sure if it was her words or someone written it for her that said, China is one. I misspoke.
Right, because essentially the Chinese citizens, and most of it stemmed from just one artist.
Yeah.
And he just received a lot of backing on China's Weibo, which is like their Twitter, essentially, and social media.
Right.
And they were accusing her of just having sentiments of like pro-Taiwanese independence, and it's like
as if she's some like huge.
The girl's like 16, like 16, come on. So
yes.
she like had this like forced apology, in my opinion, clarifying her remarks.
Yes,
so,
and it was but if anything. Well, okay, so of course, that happened. It went to show, this Twice is very new. They only debuted in the fall, but this group is getting a lot of attention. Tzuyu in particular is getting a lot of like modeling deals and endorsement deals.
Because the girl is flawless.
She is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
You guys need to see her. We'll of course put the performance and a couple, we'll try to get some photos on FIESTAR.tv. She is gorgeous. Lots of people are saying that she might be, one of those representative idols of this new sort of generation of K-pop stars. And the fact that she is once again being scrutinized for something like her, and the interesting thing that I don't think a lot of people are mentioning too is that the other girls kind of had some silly T-shirts too. Like one of them had one that said "I heart cold beer," though I believe she was of drinking age. I believe that was Jiho, who was the leader of the group. It's not like they were. She wasn't the only one, kind of, wearing something a little silly or whatever.
So, do you think that because of her previous controversy, that it has basically like kicked her into like hyper spotlight?
Yeah, I think just people are clearly watching this girl, which honestly, props to you, Juhi. Like, kill it. Keep making the haters mad, as they say, because that's what they say. Like the more interest you get, the more love you get, the more hate you get. And it's totally true in the K-pop, especially. People are so quick to watch, people fail or once they get some type of interest. And this even caused, the record label to put out a statement and apologize and say. But that's the thing too, is that it's not like she walks around being like, "Yo hoes, take off your clothes." Like, it was not representative of her. It was clearly like, someone shows their outfits. She just got stuck with this unfortunate
honestly, throughout
phrase.
Asia, there's often random T-shirts
Very
with random English on there. Sometimes they don't make sense, and you're like, "Where did you get this shirt?" And like, it's not even in Korean or
It's true.
So I don't. But I mean, I get it. Like, people will wonder, what does that mean? And it just doesn't reflect well on her when she's, such a young member of the group.
Yep. No, totally. And, again, it's very kind of interesting to me. JYP, a very globally minded company, they were one of the first agencies to start sending over groups to America to test out the waters. Wonder Girls, obviously, the first and more or less only group to have a single chart, in America, in terms of girl groups. And then, no one read that and was like, "Oh, it's a little weird statement, hoes."
I wonder if she asked, "What does this mean?" Because she's not American.
Right.
So.
Well, and that's the thing, is that did anyone who, reads English or fluently speaks English, double check that or even read what the girls were putting on their, clothes? So, to maybe diffuse this, it was a really cute performance if you saw it.
Right, it was.
They performed classic Girls' Generation song G.
I was also thinking when I was, thinking about this ridiculous topic.
Focusing on.
Yeah. I think part of it also has to do with her image overall. Like, for example, if it were CL and CL wore a shirt, "Hoes, take off your clothes," people are going to be like, "Oh, CL's a bad bitch. Like, she can wear whatever she wants to wear." And they don't expect less from her or any other type of behavior. They'll be like, "Oh, that's what she would probably wear anyway." And maybe because Chewy seems like she is a very sweet, wholesome girl, minus
they're
any
putting that out.
Right. And like, they're not marketing her in any other way.
Yeah.
So maybe they were surprised and taken aback by her wearing a shirt like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't think of it like that, but that's a good point. Is that, it's clearly it's we're talking about it because it's trending in the K-pop community right now. Where we saw some of you guys responding to it, so we wanted to talk about it. But yeah, it's a very interesting. And who would have thought, of all things? But
yeah, so I guess y'all let us know what you think about this. Like, the
would you
various
wear that
points.
T-shirt
Would you
yourself
first and foremost?
if you were performing on stage?
Yeah.
But yes, we of course want to know what you guys have to think about this and all the other topics we talked about on Case Stop. But that about does it for this episode.
Yeah, we packed a bunch in this week. So
we hope we kept you guys interested.
So yeah, definitely let us know what you thought about the deep cuts, the comebacks we talked about, especially if you like Ravi. Hit me up, hey_Tina with 3 A's.
Send her some
We can
pics.
fangirl over Ravi. And again, use #KStop when you tweet to us.
Yeah. Find us on iTunes. Find us on Fuse.tv. Find us everywhere. Find us in the new and noteworthy section on iTunes podcasts, please.
All thanks to all our listeners. So
yes.
Thank you again.
So thanks, guys, and we will see you again next week. So, K-Stop, I'm signing off. This has been Jeff.
And this is Tina.
See you next week. Bye.